I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Alberto.
And we met about, I think 18 years ago now. I say about because I always get it wrong. So yeah, 18 years ago in London. I would say about a year ago now. I was undergoing some medical treatment and we had to kind of really think about our whole fertility journey and children.
We were initially looking to freeze eggs, Stephanie's eggs, because she was going to be going through some medical treatment. So we started contacting many hospitals, many clinics, and all of them essentially had like different restrictions, and they wouldn't take us as patients, essentially.
After the initial appointments that we had with the big hospitals, so the NHS, we got some feedback from the fertility clinics that we were working with. And as Alberto said, there were restrictions on my BMI. So that was one of the major reasons as to why we couldn't go ahead with the egg freezing. But it was also just the general interaction that we had. We had quite a few people call us and just speak in a very cold way, not really explaining much. I just decided to look for fertility clinics. And this basically just was me, sat at home like for hours just on the internet looking for different clinics. I think before I decided to kind of log off at around midnight, I came across Ovom. And then it just said at one point, if I was interested in having a short discussion, I could, arrange an appointment to have a chat with Dr. Brayboy. So I made the appointment and I got a confirmation saying that at 7 or 7:30 we were going to have an appointment with Dr. Brayboy. It felt real. Like in that moment, I felt like, okay, there's just something real about this person and about this interaction.
And also, when you expect to talk to a doctor, Dr. Brayboy, you expect someone kind of like very serious, more formal, and Dr. Brayboy was always like loose, flowing, not what you expect from, I don't know, the idea that I had of a doctor, especially talking about this topic. So that also was very refreshing.
But because Dr. Brayboy was so open to answer anything and be available, and which I found very refreshing, like there were many things that we didn't think of. And I mean, we thought of a lot of things, but there was many things we didn't think of that she just spoke to us about, and we were like, oh, okay, so that's true. And that's how that's going to work. And I think you need that in these situations. You need people to be extremely transparent about everything.
And essentially, I think we felt very reassured since the beginning, because all those blocks and all those restrictions that all the clinics, all the hospitals told us about, they didn't have any of those. So she was always very welcoming, very reassuring. So yeah, that made us feel very well.
Speaking to the different clinics, we didn't get a lot of explanation. Like we didn't get a lot of like understanding people that spoke, with compassion or with knowledge, really, to explain like, okay, this is the reason why such and such is happening, this is why we need. It was just like, well, no, you need to lose weight. How can you actually speak to somebody like this, about such a sensitive topic? So that was something that we found with Ovom that was like night and day. And that's Dr. Brayboy, it's with, the whole team, but we worked with Dr. Brayboy, and just having that genuine care and, understanding, and like Alberto says, options, if you can't do this, there's all these other possibilities, which is what you need in these situations, in these moments.
Yeah, we found like a lack of empathy with from everyone that we spoke about. And also I was telling Steph earlier that just to actually being able to talk to someone sometimes is a painstaking process in itself. Whereas with Ovom, all that we had to do was go on the website and then fill up a form and get an appointment. So everything was just easy. And in the traditional way, with traditional hospitals, with the NHS, and with all the clinics, it was taking much longer.
It's very disheartening, especially when you don't have the choice and you have to go through this. So I found with, Ovom, just speaking with Dr. Brayboy about how many eggs I'm supposed to produce and, and all of that, I found just her way of speaking, the language she uses to be very positive, and even if I just had like 2 eggs, I think I would have felt much better, speaking to her compared to this other clinic, because that was just completely off. At the end of the day, we are just still people, human beings, going through very, very, very sensitive, traumatic experiences, and you need other people, human beings, to talk to you in this process, and we found that with Ovom and Dr. Brayboy.